Hey guys, this is Issues with Taddy One Skip. How are you? What's going on? 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Fiance. I'm gonna cover 90 Day Fiance Last Resort, guys. The Last Resort. Season 2. And we have a lot of interesting people. And I love 90 Day Fiance because snark is allowed. Snark is allowed. And I love the show because, as if I don't have enough drama of my own, and I remember when I first started hearing about like reality TV, and I couldn't understand like people watching people doing reality TV, and now they have these pillow talks, and I'm there for it all. So never judge, because sometimes you could be WRONG wrong. So those of you that are familiar with 90 Day Fiance and you don't know who I am, Toddy One Skip. I dare you to say that you're Toddy One Skip. For those of you that know me and don't know 90 Day Fiance, let me introduce you to some characters. Supposedly real life characters. Still, with reality TV, there's still a little bit of script, but when you see somebody's poor behavior, that's their friggin' poor behavior. Have you ever heard of Angela Deem? She's horrible. And she's no longer allowed on the show because the ABUSC was real, for real. And then she had the gall to get on the Drew Barrymore show. And why Drew Barrymore opened up the door for her and let her on the show is beyond me, because somewhere we have allowed ABUSIVE people to be known as celebrities, infamy celebrity. Whatever happened to good role models? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to people that actually behave themselves, follow the rules, and, find successes in their life? Not people that are like classless. Angela Deem, classless, so classless. And anyway, we're on the second season, and it just started basically. I think the second show just came out, but we're doing the first show right now. I want to introduce you to some folks. So we have some people on this show. We have a Rob and Sophie. Rob, in case you can't tell, this one's Rob, this one's Sophie. We have a Gino and a Jasmine. I know what you're thinking. She's in it for the green card. She's in it for the green card. She's in it for the green card and the money to jazz hands. Okay, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see about that. Then we have Florian and Stacy. Let me get that right. Florian and Stacy. And well. I know more about Darcy, who is Stacy's twin sister, but I could see that they're not that far apart in the way that they behave. This should be fun, because does Florian, sorry, Florian, but does he seem like the type of fella that is only in it for love? No, I don't think so either. No, I'm not. There's no shade against Stacy, but these sisters, I think, are very insecure. And, well, we're going to just check it out. I don't want to project. I have opinions because I've watched these people interact. Not so much Stacy, more so Darcy, but I have seen her, like, interact with her sister. It's not good. Not good. So we've got them. And then we've got Binniman and Ariella. Ariella, and they have a little kid, a little boy that they call Avi. So they're having problems. And let's see who else. We have Brandon and Julia. Julia. And they've been together for a little while. So just wanted to introduce you to some folk. And then we have people that are saying, no, why are they even there? We have Natalie. and Josh. Natalie and Josh. So let's understand, why are they there? Because they're a couple. They're about as estranged as a couple as a lot of these relationships are, right? Benjamin and his wife, Ariella, they haven't been living together. They're very much fractured and estranged. Natalie and Josh have had this continued relationship. However, Natalie comes from the Ukraine, and she was actually here for a gentleman named Michael. And as soon as she got here, she really didn't want to be here. Maybe she married for the green card. Maybe she loved Michael. There was some back and forth there. And then after she thought she could do better, she met Josh. And her and Josh have been struggling for a while. And we'll get into stuff like that. I just want you to put the picture in the faces of the people that I'm talking about. So, yeah, this would be the cast for The Last Resort, Season 2. And this is a 90 Day Fiancé franchised show, guys. So all of these people have been on 90 Day Fiancé before, and they've either had problems with the relationships that they're in, or they're in a new relationship, like Natalie, who was originally with Michael. Now she's with Josh. And I said that good, Josh. And now she's with Josh. And so you see their new relationship. But a relationship we're still familiar with if you watch the show. If you don't watch the show, I hope this for you to be entertained, and then you go and check out the show. Because here's the thing about that show, or about the idea of the show. So the idea is, these are people that have met people that live in a different country that want to come over to the United States and be with the person that is the American citizen. Now, there are people that just try to get green cards. We know that because they think this country is so much better than their country. And yes, the United States is a lot better than a lot of the countries that these people are from. And they do have more opportunity over here. And as we know, our borders aren't wide open. And you have to get married. And we have a thing called the 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day program where you bring somebody over, you have 90 days to figure out if you're going to marry them or not. Why it's 90 days, beyond me, especially after everything. Like, they should at least double it at this point, change it a little bit, make it a little bit longer, make sure people actually want to stay. You know, some people can do 90 days standing on their head. Some people, it's like, oh my God, I can't get through the 90 days. How am I going to get through this, even though I want the green card? And some people actually come over for love of the person that they're with. And some people don't even want to leave their own country, but they end up coming over here because they're in love with the person that's here. So sometimes things that would surprise you, like I showed Florian, look, meet Summit. This is Summit. Now, Summit has been with Jenny for as long as I've known 90 Day Fiancé. They've been together since 2011 when they met on a phone call because, you know, on one of those he was a scam artist. He actually catfished her, showed her he was somebody else, pretended he was somebody else, and then ended up falling for her. And they showed each other pictures. And, you know, clearly she is 30 years his senior. Well, no offense, Jenny. It's not that you look 30 years his senior. But she is 30 years his senior. They've been dating, and now that she's been living there, and they've had a relationship since 2011. Summit doesn't want to come to the United States, and it would have been a hell of a lot easier for Jenny. You guys should check out that. That's a love story. That's a love story. Here's a woman who's an older woman, and here's a young guy, a nice-looking man, and they found love. He adores Jenny. He wants to spend his life with Jenny. And she trusted him. And look, finally his family's on board with them. And they've been together really since 2011. She's been living over in India for, oh my God, it's well over a decade now. And there is a life that they're building, that they have, and that they continue to build. And that is true love. We also have David and Annie. There's a 24-year age gap here. And David's a heavyset guy. Annie's Nice looking young female. This is just going on what people would think and say. She's got to be using you to get over here. She's got to be using you to get over here. They've been together for a really long time now, since 2017. They just had their first kid together not long ago, IVF. So that's a love story right there. She didn't come over to get a green card. She came over, she loved David, and they worked on stuff. Actually, David, piss poor. David, very piss poor. Didn't even have money for the dowry, really, when it came to getting Annie. So you can't go. Sometimes they'll surprise you and be like, but it depends on how they act towards one another. Summit, you could really see he adored Jenny. He was doing things for Jenny. You could see that. Annie took disappointment after disappointment with David and just kept going with him. You know, she felt something for him. Of course, David suffered a stroke before he went over to her country and met her. And she was singing at a bar. I heard she was singing at a bar. And he was trying to change his life around because he had had a stroke. And he heard this glorious sound, and there she was, Annie. And that's them. That's his Annie. And so, you know, things could surprise you, but it is difficult to find love, especially and have a long-term relationship and to make it work. What's tenfold is when there is a culture involved, like the Indian culture, the Muslim culture, the Arabic culture that some of the 90 Day Fiancé people struggle with, especially the women. You know, when there are women that like to dress freely and they go over to these countries and get very upset because they're told that you can't dress like that. It is not the husband, it is the culture. And why they can't understand that is beyond me. So there's a lot of drama that gets piled on top of getting to know somebody, which sometimes is drama itself. Sometimes there's family issues, but when there's cultural, religious, and traditional issues, those things are very, very hard to come by. So here, Last Resort are people that have been on previous episodes, previous seasons of the show, and they're with their partner now, and they're struggling. So they have joined and come into the Last Resort where everybody is together in this resort. The first one was in Islamorada, Florida. I know about that place. Got family there in Key Largo and Islamorada. So I know the place, but this place is in Arizona. And I want to say by Scottsdale, Arizona, because Camelback Mountain is there. So it's got to be pretty impressive and nice. So everybody is gone there, and they're going to go through some therapy, and they're going to talk about the relationship and such like that. I'm going to talk about it too. So guys, I hope you join me on this. And it's going to be fun while they try to get their green card today.